everyone. Welcome back to another episode of 501 Tacos, the anime on tradition. I'm your host, Taco Artis, history's spiciest podcaster and the best voice in podcasting. Thank you very much. Here as always with my co-host, my bro, my aficionado of all things OP, the big DB, the Dark Britain. And before DP gets his piece in, he was complimenting the attire today. I actually had to spice it up. So we did a rerun of the Lannister hoodie, because why not? But I also threw on a Gryffindor scarf. And at mine and DB's previous employer where we met, I was actually kind of famous for wearing the scarf as part of a Halloween costume. So I always bust it back out every fall. I recently converted a young woman who's 21 to get her to read the books and watch the movies, actually. So shout out to me. I'm amazing. I do dope shit, like Kanye says.
Just changing lives. Changing lives.
So, my sister's like, oh, well, make her write a book report so you know it's real. I'm like, she worked at a gas station. I had to gas up the truck. I'm probably never going to see this person again. I just know I made an impact that day. So shout out to my scarf. DB
made an impact in like 5 seconds. That's how we change lives, man.
That's aura. Isn't that what the kids say? Aura.
Or just aura farming out there.
Aura farming with the scarf. This is like going to be a staple. It'll be like Konohamaru, but I actually matter. So,
fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
They did my
Throwing out the Konohamaru. How is he doing in Boruto?
He's not. He literally got called a nitwit he just got called dumb, actually. Like, he's too dumb to be a spy. When his occupation is actually a ninja. I think that's, like, hilarious. But he got called that by, some assistant to the daimyo who is implying that if, Shikamaru and Konohamaru don't, get the ship right in Konoha, there's going to be budget cuts for the Hokage position. And I just think that's the funniest shit I've ever heard.
That's wild.
That's literally murdering a baby, to me, as far as, my childhood in Naruto. You're going to budget cut out the Hokage position. Just think about that. That's like Vince McMahon, peak of the pandemic, firing all the big name talent just for headlines and budget cuts. So yeah, I guess they're going to end up selling the village. But long story short, I made an impact. I matter. DB, what you got for the people?
Nah, just enjoying life and laughing. We got a very important character cast in the One Piece anime. I was going to, but the showtime was 8:50. Gonna go try and catch the last showing of Chainsaw Man: The Rize arc. I'm 37. I gotta be up at 5 a.m.
It's not happening.
The movie would have started at 9, been done at 11, home at 11:30, bed by noon. It's not bed by midnight. It's not happening. I gotta acknowledge I'm not 27, 37. So.
Yeah, I completely had plans to go out and celebrate the new job tonight, and Thank you.
We should probably. You're just saying the new job, and everyone's like, "What? Congratulations!"
Thank you, sir.
The artiste has a new role.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I should be going out to celebrate that, but I'm also it's past Poppy's bedtime, and I feel bad because I'm having trouble communicating this to my friend. She wants to take me out to celebrate. She's like, we gotta get drinks before you do the move and everything. And I'm like, I'm right there with you. I want to do it. I have good intentions. The follow through is just not there after 8 p.m. I wanted to make my own podcast tonight. The beanbag chair was comfortable. I'm watching the new season of Witcher. Liam isn't completely butchering it.
Good.
I'm only on episode 2, the start of episode 2. It's a different take on Geralt. He's not horrible. I'm trying to figure out where they're going with this plot because it seems off the cuff from what I recall in the books.
I keep on forgetting their books. I came into The Witcher because of the video game franchise,
Wild
Dear
Hunt.
God. Oh,
Wild
when
Hunt.
was no, the first one. I'm old. 2007. Oh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
junior
And,
year.
and I remember cuz you got it on with Morgana, and had a baby with her. And it's just like you can't even opt out about not banging her. And I was just like, "Oh, this is an interesting game."
To be honest, I'm not mad at that.
No, I'm thinking Dragon Age. Dragon Age. Witcher was a different one, but I
Okay,
got into Witcher because of the what's the card game called?
oh,
Gwent.
Gwent. Oh, I love the game. I actually have a deck.
It's so much fun. I could never play IRL because I would spend a lot of money on those cards.
I did. Yeah, it's addictive, and yeah, it's addictive. Um,
Just
I literally,
hours taken on searching to try and find those damn cards.
I literally just. We're not even into our main topics tonight, folks. Like this is just gonna be an episode. Like,
Oh yeah.
buckle in for the ride. So I actually got to the part of the game, or I got to parts of the game where it was just fuck the storyline. Sorry, Khaleesi.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm legit just I want to challenge people to go in. Like I'm going up to merchants and other people. Like, hey, you want to play some cards? Like,
It's so much fun.
oh my god, it's addictive, bro. I'm like, there was something else he did before this. Why?
And then you can run it back when you lose. It's just like, nah, we running this back. Oh
Oh,
no.
once I got my deck together, man, I was on the road. Like I'm like, oh, there are tournaments. Like you could play for prizes and money. Like run it. Like you would think I had a gambling addiction the way I'm just like just ready to just run it with everyone. Like, oh, it's bad. Like,
Oh man, that's funny.
and it's insane because I'm usually like so plot driven that I tend to let me say I used to tend to forget the side quests. Like I'm just like let me stick to the main story, figure where things are going. Then video games wised up and made me look like an ass because sometimes the side quests are very important for the plot, right?
And you get
So
new things. You
oh
get
yeah,
like
new
benefits
things,
and
new
things like that.
relationships, power ups, all types of stuff. Thank you, Persona. Um, anyway, Gwent just became my thing, and Witcher Wild Hunt. I'm just literally just like forget the main quest. I just want to play Gwent.
I was very upset that I finished the game and I couldn't go back and play more Gwent. It was just like,
I haven't even finished. I've literally just been chilling on the last big battle for like over a year. Like that's how bad that game is to me. Like just how bad my addiction to Gwent is. I probably should talk to my therapist about it.
it doesn't help
But
that that came out, what, 10 years? Oh, yeah, 10 years ago?
yeah,
Oh,
they're working on four, and I've
I'm looking
heard
at it right
some
now.
not positive reviews for the trailer. So I actually haven't paid attention to the trailer. I'm gonna go actually watch it. I just found out that the Genshin Impact preview for the Nintendo Switch came out 5 years ago, and it
That
never,
sounds about right.
yeah, never hit the Nintendo Switch though. Like they came out with Switch 2 before Genshin Impact joined the Switch team.
That's
So I
fair.
was that's hilarious to me because there are people in the comments like I was in middle school when this like was a thing, and now I've graduated high school. I'm a freshman in college, and it's still not a thing. But this video is there for me to basically be like a time capsule for them. So yeah, folks, we actually have other things to talk about. We're just going on tangents. We're just on a ride right now, and I'm
Ain't
digging it.
nothing wrong with that. Especially
Hey,
because now I'm going down the rabbit hole of like, what is CD Project Red working on next? Because I'm seeing here, they just, they're, let's see here. Yeah,
I'm
Cyberpunk 2077 came out 2 years ago. That was their latest one.
yeah.
So now they're working on Witcher 4, another Cyberpunk, and a few other games.
What are the other games? Do you see the names? 'Cause I'm pretty sure I've heard like something big that they're doing besides Witcher 4.
Project Hader, Hadar. Project Sirius. A new game set in the Witcher universe featuring multiplayer.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Price not down. Another MMO.
Yeah, as long as I'll play it as long as it's not an MMO. I refuse. Oh, they got sued for Cyberpunk. That's funny.
Wow.
1.85 million.
I
They
wish I
didn't.
could.
Yeah,
I
they
could do
rolled it
something
out
for that.
so bad. Like I'm glad I didn't play Cyberpunk. A lot of people
Me
did.
neither.
A lot of people loved it. I'm glad I didn't because I can't. I don't like a game that gets released and then they fix the bugs during the gameplay. It's like, no, download this patch. Why
No,
am I downloading a patch? I
no
download DLC at a later point, and that's it.
facts. Shout out
Patches. It's like,
Sam.
wow.
Shout out my boy Sam. Just messaged me during that episode saying he finally watched the Batman from 2022 um, today. So I'm asking him his thoughts. I'm actually part of the episode. I'm trying to do a live reaction to the Raws, Scanlations folks, of Kagurabachi chapter 100. I had
Okay.
to um, I had to send a password to this guy. I'm not going to say my source because you, there's a whole thing about it. If you're not in the manga community, you wouldn't get it. I'm also just trying not to get people caught up. But I had to send him a password. It was feet piss. Um, so I'm just kind of like questioning my life at 7:22 on a Thursday night, but whatever. We're here.
Hmm.
So I'm waiting on a response. Hopefully, we can get that live reaction tonight. We're going to talk about some foosball, pigskin. Um, talk about, oh, excuse me, talk about them Packers, them Lions. Actually, I think we talked about that enough last week. It was a bad game. Lions are 5-3.
Yep.
Um,
Lions are 5-3. Packers are 5-2-1, which
but
is hilarious because the Bears are like third in the division.
yeah, but the Packers are playing the Eagles
Monday Night
Monday Night
Football.
Football.
And that's the thing. Like, we lose to the Browns and the Panthers, but beat, like, the Lions, the Steelers, and hopefully like, it's one
The
of those
Eagles
where I'm like,
Packers.
I'm expecting to beat the Eagles because we lose to the shit teams and we play to our opponents,
Yep,
which
yep,
it's one that's characteristics of having a young team, but that's
yep,
also a characteristic of having a coach that isn't able to get his team to meet the moment.
yep.
Matt LaFleur, our football coach, is an excellent play caller to an extent, but as an overall leader of the team, I gave him until this year, and he has still not learned his lessons about being a coach and how to get people to how to get your team ready for a game. And it's just like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, you'll be a good play caller, but as a head coach, I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, I want to ask you what your thoughts are, or what's the fix for that? Because my other co-host for the just the standard 501 tacos, we talk
The
sports.
sports podcast, sports
Yeah,
specific one,
just
yeah.
straight sports. He knows I can't stand Doc Rivers in the NBA. He's a lifelong Doc Rivers guy. He says Doc brings culture. I'm like, Doc does not adjust. Um, Doc does not adjust like
He
he,
does not at all.
and that's well known. I mean, even shitty players have addressed that. And I say shitty, but
In the
sorry,
NBA, so yeah.
they're in the NBA. But I mean, guys who have pretty subpar careers compared to their talent or
He's
whatever.
coaching the Bucks now?
Yeah, and he's just doing the same thing he's always done. I mean, there's no coach that's blown more 3-1 leads in NBA history. So my question to you is, what is the fix for Coach LaFleur? Because do you see that he needs to just be a play caller, an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and let somebody else take that head coaching role? Like, do they need to bring someone else in as the head coach, and he takes a defensive coordinator? I can't work tonight.
Well, I would be more apt to let him be the head coach and manage all the play calling if he gave the play calling up. And manage all the game management stuff if he gave the play calling up.
Okay.
And the situational stuff. Because I mean, he got the job as the Packers head coach in, was it 7 years ago, so 2018,
He's
roughly. After 1 year of being the offensive coordinator for Tennessee when they did really well. That's the year that they had AJ Brown. That's the year that they had King Henry. So it was like also kind of like them really making the offense, but he was a good play caller, situational awareness. He uses a lot of the screens and things like that, but he doesn't really manage the team that he has very well. He wants them to be a team in players that they're not really.
Yeah,
So it's like, why are you having this tight end try and block when we know he's garbage at blocking instead of just splitting him out and using him as a big wide receiver?
yeah,
Like, I am 37 with no football experience as a coach, and I can look at that and say, okay, I don't necessarily know the personnel, but I can tell that person's not being used in their right position.
yeah,
So, but he's always been the head coach and the offensive play caller, which most head coaches just let their assistants do that, and then he
right,
tells them
right.
what they want to do, what he wants to do throughout the game. So for me, it also becomes frustrating because he doesn't want to either A, share the workload, or B, acknowledge that he is the fundamental issue. Like he either needs to work on getting all these young players up and ready to go game and then let offense handle it, or get the fuck out of the way and just call the offense. Um, and people are finally starting to like become aware of what I've been saying the last 2.5 years, really. Roughly 2023, I was like, Aaron is gone. Aaron, the bad man is out of the building. You've got 3 years. I remember saying it. Our defensive coordinator had 1 year. Jordan Love had two, and he had three.
So you know what's funny? I was gonna say people are finally. You said people are finally getting hip to what you've been saying for the last 3 years. I'm like, that's me to the Lions when I went viral. Um, what 3 years ago? I think it was 2023. Started 2023. I did a one of my first episodes. Well, not one of my first, but one of my earlier episodes where I got so pissed off by this guy at the barbershop saying if the Lions this, then they that or something. I'm like, bro, you don't win off of ifs. Like you just do the job. Like quit making excuses. Like you have to change the culture to get results. What happened? Dan Campbell came in, changed the culture. Like it's
And it
literally just
has
take
results.
like and there you go. Yeah, it's like accountability starts at the top. I say that all the time. Like the big issue is just bad management. You know, you have people come in that just can't breathe life into a city and a team that is perpetually their own victim. And so I said, change that culture. What happened? Dan Campbell came in. We were worried about Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn leaving, but we see that's actually Dan Campbell's magic right now with the Lions. So
We can see that.
yeah,
Especially in the defensive side, they're still putting it up. Lions they get stymied every once in a while on the offensive side.
yeah,
Shout out Green Bay. Even Minnesota got them, but like the defense is still a juggernaut. Um, Pan Hutch they didn't reset the market because he's getting the most guaranteed money, but Micah still has the biggest contract for a non-quarterback. Um, and I'm just very interested in where they go
yeah.
as far as because we still have to play them one more time, Thanksgiving, which is going to be so much fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Um, and then we still haven't even played the Bears yet. Like we're halfway through, and we still have to play Minnesota twice and the Bears twice. So, and that doesn't
How
even
do you
start
react
next.
if Green Bay loses to the Bears?
We already have this year, and that's why I'm so frustrated. We lost to them on my birthday, so here's
Oh,
why I'm pissed. Yeah, the last game of the season was my birthday last year.
but I
I
mean this season,
It's still 2025.
I fair, fair, fair,
This
fair.
year we are 0-1 against the Chicago Bears. That's all that matters.
I'm I'm sorry that was your birthday, bro. Um,
And that game is also quintessentially why Matt LaFleur is in my crosshairs because it was the last game of the year, right? And if you're going to the playoffs, you do one of two things. You sit all your starters or you play them, and take them out halfway through. You don't go halfway. He tried sitting them and then tried bringing them in thank you. Thank you. And that is quintessentially what you do not do. Because I personally believe that the reason we started off so horribly against the Eagles in the playoffs is because he tried doing that the week before. And like, you can't do that if you're ramping up to the playoffs. You can't.
I have very little coaching experience. I've actually coached a Smash esports team, um, and I say all that to say I can comfortably say I would not do that. Um, that's like that's actually so antithetical, and it's backwards actually. Um, so yeah, I can definitely understand your animosity towards Metaphor. Um, wow, that actually just threw me for a loop. I had a whole thought before I heard that, and that floored me. Like,
It's infuriating. Like I am so upset because it's just like because he Jordan Love doesn't start the game, comes in and gets hurt, and it's just like, so like, what are we doing? You can't just live in the middle. You have to pick a goddamn side. So yeah, for me, I'm probably part of 10% of Green Bay Packers fandom that's like has an issue with him, but like 3% that are actually able to articulate, here's it's been 6 years. Here's the through line. He managed Aaron well. That's fine. He managed the Eagle well. I don't think he's guiding a young team very well.
yeah. So I want to intersect something because I want to talk about the Pistons very briefly.
Ooh.
Just because it is kind of in the same vein when we were discussing coaches and coaching styles and changing cultures X Y Z. But before that, I want to elaborate on something because I was explaining it to DB before the episode really started. He heard me say "sorry, Khaleesi" all the time, and I swear. I actually explained what the joke was to DB. I'm not going to go too deep into it. It's just that I swore in the office once to a coworker who gave me a death glare that made me feel like I was in front of Daenerys and Drogon, and it's basically the equivalent of Jacaris. So I stopped swearing in the office at a previous employer. I say all that to say when I swear on air, I recall that because I used to record on air at that previous employer. Um, I always say, sorry, Khaleesi, when I swear. But me and DB are gonna get these F and the F bombs off and all the dams and everything. Sorry, Khaleesi. So I just want to say, like, if you hear me say that, one, I hope she actually like was not a Daenerys and like just batshit insane and like cooks people, but also don't swear in front of her because apparently even her parents got to work. Yeah, that's the. If you hear the Khaleesi joke, I actually fully explained it to DB before the episode, so I want to stick that in there. Dwayne Casey, because you're talking about your gripe with LaFleur and Green Bay. So before this major overhaul and the Pistons doing a complete 180 last season, we had Dwayne Casey, who I've always felt was more of a developmental coach. Like he's good at developing talent. He's not the coach to get you over the hump. Kind of case in point. They end up going to
Fair.
get Monty Williams, threw a boatload of cash at him because of what he had previously did or what he had previously done. Excuse me, in Phoenix with the cast of
I didn't
characters he
even
had.
realize they hired him.
Monty Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because they fired him so quick because he had a really shit season. He was so overpaid. That contract was ridiculous. I mean, at first I was like, bro, look at his body of work. But he didn't want to actually be in Detroit. And they didn't pay Udoka what I felt he should have. They should have been paying Udoka what they want to pay Monty, or at least something close to it because Udoka's a better coach. but because of Udoka's, and Udoka's in Phoenix now. He was in Boston. He ended up getting let go or something because of who he likes to spend his nights with and spend his money on to spend those nights with them. It's that man's business, but whatever. I felt they should want to go get Yume Udoka. They didn't. But now we had JB Bickerstaff. Now I wasn't too high on JB previously. Actually, just I wasn't super aware of his work, but he's got these guys clicking. And so it does come down to the right personnel.
He coached the Cavs for 4 years.
JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
was
didn't
aware of
realize
that.
he was their coach.
I just also just don't give a fuck about the Cavs. Sorry, Khaleesi. Uh, well, no, I really don't give a fuck about the Cavs. Let me just be blunt. I don't. It's Ohio. You know the whole Michigan versus Ohio thing. It's always fuck them. Even though I got some good friends from Ohio. Actually, Ohio has some of the greatest people in the world I've ever met. So,
Eh,
but it's still fuck when they're little brothers. You know, sometimes you like your little brothers. You know, it is what it is. Um, but yeah, so JD Bickerstaff came in and he's doing the damn thing. But it does. For me, I look at a guy like JB and what he's done versus a guy like Doc Rivers who has spent 30 years accumulating the worst coaching record or the worst coaching feat. It's an anti-feat, I should say, which
that's
is
fair.
losing the most 3-1 leads. Like he's blown the most 3-1 leads. There's no way to talk about bringing culture. Rev, I'm sorry, I love you, but I don't care how
Hmm.
much culture he brings if you can't get to 3-1 and not say like, oh shit, here we go, because he doesn't adjust. I'm like, and that's just to me, every person has their faults that we have to learn from.
Fair.
You mentioned LaFleur's. I still haven't gotten this freaking Raws. I'm trying to stall. I'm getting all types of other DMs and shit. Um, but everybody has their flaws, especially coaches. They're not. They're not. What's the word I'm looking for? Impervious to critique. You
Sure.
know, again, it starts at the top. Yeah, the players have to play. Players actually have to play. So, like that low management shit, can we do away with it at this point? Because James Harden is literally just hijacking off seasons and robbing owners blind, um, and
Fair.
and
Also
fans
very fair.
because he just doesn't play. It looks like he eats a happy meal before the game, or at least six of them. Anyway, uh, no coach is impervious. So and they all have their flaws. It's just when you learn, like, cause you're the figurehead of the team, like you're the leader of the team, so to speak. Like, you got the captains on the court, the point guard in basketball. It's typically your voice on the court. Quarterback is the voice on the field. Then you got your captains X Y Z, but it starts pretty much as far as the field personnel with the head coach. So if you're not aware of those flaws and you're not willing to change them, because we all have to do this. People, we talk about video games and anime all day. That's pretty much the hero's journey. You don't get your championship or your to be Hokage or One Piece or whatever without addressing your shadow, your flaws, your dark side, whatever. It's just
Fair.
it's a parable of life that we have to work with. So I think it's hilarious when you point this out, because you mentioned Jordan Love getting injured, and that just made me think of Derrick Rose and Tom Thibodeau pretty much running him into the ground. Same thing with Mike D'Antoni running Kobe into the ground during the 2013 season, where after that, Kobe just couldn't stay healthy because he tore his Achilles playing 47 minutes a game, averaging a triple double like through a 7-game streak or whatever. It was insane to get to the Lakers, to the playoffs, the number 7 seed, and then they got bounced because half the team was injured. So Mike D'Antoni ran the run and gun offense. I think he was pretty much synonymous with that. But defense was not his strong suit at all. He pretty much was just outgun him, like literally just run up and down the court, outscore them, and hope for the best. Um, so, like I
Wasn't
said,
even
like
that now.
everybody has their flaws. I've never heard of a coach, and I'm saying this now to get to the point. I've never heard of a coach going so half. Not, I don't even know what to call it. Like you don't start with the starters. You try to sit them out, but then you put them in. Like that's like I've heard of some coaches trying novel ideas. Try something that no one's going to expect. But did the game even matter?
Or, just set them.
Yeah, but I mean, did the game matter to even try something so obtuse?
It didn't. In our case, it didn't. And there are cases when it was basic. It was a glorified preseason game. Um, you're going into the playoffs. You already get there. You sit your starters or you play them. There's one of two things. You don't try to play them and then pull them, or sit them and then try and play them because they're cold and they're not going to play well and then they're going to get hurt. So it's one where it's just like
He
make a
created his own
decision.
trap game.
Yep, yep. And it's the Bears, so I would have been fine. Like I guess the perfect example of that was last year. The Chiefs sat all the starters in that last game to the Broncos and got wiped 35-0. But they knew what was happening. They knew that Patrick and Travis and all their starters weren't playing, and they were like the best cheerleaders on the sidelines. It wasn't that they were down 28 and was like, "Oh, Pat, let's get you in there. Let's see if we can." No, and that's literally what happened in our situation. It's like if you're gonna lose to the Bears, at least go out saying that, "Oh, we played
Commit
our
to
second. Yeah, we
commit
played our
to
second string." Don't be like, "Oh, let's try and win this now," and then you shoot yourself in the foot trying to get started. Like it just doesn't make any sense. So for me, that's
I'm not
him
going to
not
sleep
being
tonight.
him not being consistent is my biggest thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to sleep well tonight. That's going to keep me up.
It
There
did
was a
for all of January, so you're good.
Yeah, yeah. That's I might have nightmares, and not the good kind. So
Welcome to being a Green Bay fan.
I actually met a Green Bay fan the other day
Hmm.
at the gas station. Not the same person. I said, "Go Packers." They're like, "Yeah, you got it." I'm like, I just like fucking with people, bro. Like, I'm in Michigan right now saying "Go Packers." Like, I don't care about anything. Um, so I still have not gotten the. I swear to God, I'm gonna get this link for the Ross when we end the episode. But
Eventually.
yeah, but I want to. I actually avoided looking at them because I didn't want to see the Ross before the actual chapter comes out. I wanted to actually be genuinely be, surprised about what happens to a given extent. Um, but I also just saw, excuse me, not, I did just see it, but I just sent something to DB a couple hours ago about a fantasy matchup that was posted on Twitter, not Reddit this time. Ha, you thought you had me. Just when you
Hmm.
thought you knew all the questions, I thought you knew all the answers. I changed all the questions. So anyway, on Twitter, there was a fantasy matchup that fans were calling generational, and because it's going to be a slaughter if it actually ever happened. It's cross gen or cross brand. Um, Sakuna, King of Demons, Mister Runner 20v1. Uh, uh, yeah, King of Curses, excuse me,
Hmm.
versus Yuru, the War Devil from Chainsaw Man. I love, I love Sakuna. That's my guy. Yuru can literally snipe from the Statue of Liberty with the Statue of Liberty while she's in Japan. Um, and that's just like on the low end of her feet. I mean, she literally uh, uh, damn near put a nuke or nuked uh, Japan doing that, and then she regained nuclear powers. I actually forgot. I think she like off the falling devil just by nuking her upper body and just blowing her away. And
It was
again,
something like that because she summoned like it's not the gun. It was like the tank. Was it tank or something like
it
that?
was
So, it
gun
was
and
some,
tank or tank and something, but she regained nuclear weapons as a power, bro. Like I forgot, like Bang and Bang and Chainsaw Man, it hits different, like literally. Um, but I'm pretty sure she just one tapped Falling Devil once she regained nuclear weapons with just a straight uppercut, and that was it. Like Falling Devil was donezo. She made her a pair of shoes. Um, so I mean, that's just two of the low end things she can do. This wiping Sukuna out. The other one, which is ridiculous, and DB, I'll let you jump in 1 second. If she beats you, and if she literally bests you in a contest, it could be rock paper scissors, it could be a staring contest, it could be one of the card games where you're guessing things on the road, or you got to name a favorite color or keep something going. If she bests you, then she can make you into a weapon. She can literally make a Sukuna sword
mm-hmm.
just from a staring contest. She can do it from a foot race. She can do it from rock paper scissors, arm wrestling, whatever. If she wins, Sukuna is literally her bitch. Sorry, please.
Yeah, it's one where yes, everyone is allowed their own head canon, and that's what this is, and all that good stuff. But it's also one where if you know the characters and you know the series and you know what they're capable of, it doesn't really seem like it's that big of a fight. It's
It's
like
not.
Goku versus everyone. It's like, okay, like I know there's a couple of people that'll probably beat Goku because they they could, I don't know, make him food and put him to sleep. It's like these little things, like it's a matchup.
Yeah.
And Sakuna, with all of his prowess, he is a close combat fighter. He is not a range fighter.
Yeah.
And he would get wiped against a range fighter. And the
Yeah.
War Devil has all the access of ranged artillery because it's war. Um, yeah, so it's like now, but Sukuna would wipe, for example, the Fall Devil because
Yeah.
Fall Devil has to be close to you for any of their powers to work, and Sukuna could very well navigate that type of situation.
Yeah. I also think just, and I'm not the best scaler. So, I'm still learning the AP, the DC, and everything like that. I know Fuga, the furnace technique, is equivalent to a nuke, so to speak. But there's just so many. He doesn't have a real win con. Like he can do world cutting slash, or world cleaving slash, or whatever. He doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
anything to put her down. The other thing my buddy Samson mentioned that I forgot, again, shout out Sam, is that War Devil made a pact with um, America, because obviously we know America's so corrupt in anime and manga that they
It's so funny.
it's hilarious because they fuck their citizens all the time. And this is no different. This is just another example. Every time War Devil is killed, I think like three or five citizens in California take her place. And she mentioned the population of California at the time, because I'm pretty sure Chainsaw Man is happening in the 90s. Which
Something like
basically,
that.
yeah, you got to kill her several million times just to kill her, unless Chainsaw Man eats her. Sukuna doesn't have a win con. Like,
I always forget that. That's what he did.
yeah, it's oh my god, it's hilarious. I love it. I literally think he has to eat and erase her, and I don't think that she can respawn from that. Even outside of Pochita's, or inside of Pochita's stomach, I don't think she. I think that's just a one tap right there.
Pretty
So
much.
yeah, I love the King of Curses. I love Sukuna. Um, he did the thing in his own universe, but this is a generational slaughter. This is to be fair, Makima should have did this to Gojo in their cross-gen DB or whatever. Um, I think Makima kind of got did dirty because Gojo had just got done dirty. Or just actually just died and the world cried. Um, and JDK a couple years ago. I've never seen so many people hurt by an anime character's death. I mean, yeah. So I think that people wanted Gojo to get a dub to kind of justify him. I just don't think when you look at scaling, like you mentioned Goku, there's a I can't think of this character's name. Maybe you can remind me. There's a character that has it's a female character. She has reality warping powers. I can't think of what anime she's from. Haru or something like that is her name. I can't remember. But Goku doesn't have an answer for a reality warper. He spams laser beams. And I actually saw a really, really disrespectful attack from Goku earlier. It was actually nice. So you can't jump in midair. That was clean. Or you can't dodge in midair. So yeah, that was a clean kill. I think Goku's undefeated against women right now. But yeah, as far as scaling, like Goku doesn't have an answer for like reality warpers or people who can pacify him with food or
Outsmart him.
Yeah, I don't.
And go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've had this discussion in power scaling communities, primarily the Naruto power scaling community, where people too often mistake strength or raw power as the end all be all for these matchups and forget the skill is a thing. Like there's a difference between power and skill. And a lot of these battles come down to just being more skillful or nuanced enough. I mean, Sukuna versus Gojo is the perfect example. Yeah, they kind of, had relatively the same in power or whatever, but Sukuna was way more skillful. He knew how to use his kick better. So I think a lot of times we forget that because of our own perceptions or philosophies on what power is or what makes someone strong. So, but sorry, I think I cut you.
No, it's all a rock paper scissors game. This is why I like Pokemon so much. It's all situational. Yeah. But like even in the world of One Piece, the best example of that would be Boa Hancock is an attractive woman that can turn any dude that's horny for her to stone. So like, if all dudes is just like she's pretty, she wins. Like that's the thing. Yeah, she literally makes them hard.
She literally gets them rock hard.
Literally gets them rock hard, and it's one to where the strongest man in the verse, Whitebeard, we see him. Heart comes out of his chest, starred eyes, and we're just like, so he's gonna lose to her in a one-on-one fight because he's horny for her. Like it's just one of those where it's like all the power scaling can do so much. Luffy, love him to death, pro Tycoon. If he goes against someone that's smarter than him, he gets wiped.
Yeah.
Like a trickster is the worst character for Luffy because he's so honest.
I always thought, and maybe this is my own ignorance because I've never really gotten into One Piece, but I always thought people said that Luffy was so stupid you couldn't outsmart him because he's just like, it's almost like Naruto's like a closeted genius. It's just he's in a different pocket of genius because he's a trickster archetype. So he had to learn survival skills, being on his own. He has the fox spirit in him, which is the primary archetype of most tricksters, things like that.
True, actually, that's fair.
Yeah, so Naruto's sexy jutsu is supposed to just throw you off because you don't expect some ninja to basically use a harem jutsu on you or whatever. Same thing with the Kaguya fight. Said it always works on stronger opponents. So I always maybe I just misunderstood that because I'm not in the know But that's interesting to hear that because there are certain characters, they're smarter than Naruto, way smarter, but he's so crafty, you underestimate him a lot.
And that's what happens with a lot of people with Luffy. And he is durable. So when he gets beaten 2 or 3 times, literally that's the joke is, oh, the fight's starting. Well, Luffy won't win because he hasn't been beaten yet. He'll be beaten twice and then he'll win. So it's like that kind of jokey thing of like, oh, I mean, the fight just started, but like he's got to get beaten twice before he actually wins.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so it's
sounds
one
like
to
a
where
heavy thing.
mm, with Luffy, he is incredibly stupid. But, and this is something I've learned in my 20 years of following One Piece, he has arguably the highest emotional intelligence I've ever seen in an anime character,
Okay, fair.
which is crazy. Um, Situations happening, he doesn't have to say a word, automatically knows. Or it's just like something happens and he's just like, cool, it's a mystery. So it's just like he goes from stupid to being able to understand someone's entire worldview without even hearing them, but just sitting down and having a meal with them. And it's just like, okay,
So you can read the
this,
room.
he can read the room.
So
He can
what's
read the room.
crazy? We don't actually take into account the other uh, quotients of the human spectrum, like emotional IQ, emotional IQ, battle IQ, cultural IQ, spiritual IQ. Like we don't really take those into account all the time. And I think that's
Mm-mm.
another thing is Naruto was deemed as a dunce. He failed the Ninja Academy like 3 times or something silly. Even though
But he was the same age as everyone,
he's
which
the
made no
same age as his
sense.
classmates, but he literally he's supposed to have failed, but he also was very perceptive. He was very wise. Like when Rock Lee packed up Sasuke pretty early in the story with literally no jutsu, he just all hands. And Naruto points out to Sasuke, you can see by how his hands and his body's bandaged, he just trains harder than you. Like he actually has to work for his strength. You don't. That's all I'm saying to you. So like just picking up on a little cue like that, even stuff with certain villains, and um, we don't really, because people get so caught up in raw intellect stats and things like that. We don't really give too much credit to characters for having like Luffy's social and social awareness, emotional intelligence, and things like that. So thanks for pointing that one out.
No. Anytime, anytime. I'll always bring the One Piece rants, if that's the best way of putting it. Especially now that we're getting into the end game with the anime. Apparently, this is something, it was just an article I saw, but I guess we're going to start moving into a seasonal style. One Piece has been every week for the better part of like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
I think they're going to start doing like seasonals, which is going to be amazing. I
So
hope they don't go the movie route where they turn a whole season into a movie, but I don't think it can. But go ahead.
is he gonna do like? Because I was gonna mention Black Clover because Asta's supposed to be like that prototypical Naruto, Luffy, idiot hero. He's just done really, really poorly. But Black Clover is seasonal, where I think Yuki Tabata drops 3 chapters every 3 months. Is it some type of deal like that? Because that's going to be a wonder.
Um,
Going to do wonders for Oda's health overall.
well, it's just the anime. It's not the manga. So
Okay, gotcha.
this is, if anything, is going to let the manga get further ahead, because there have been times where they have had to plan hiatuses of 2 to 3 months to let the manga get ahead further. I would probably say that the manga is about a year and a half. Sorry, a year and a half ahead of the anime.
Okay,
It has been over the last 20 plus years. It has been very close to where they get 20, 30 chapters behind the manga, and then they're kind of running out of content because like 2, 3 episodes, 2, 3 chapters is one episode. So you can catch up really quick, which is what happened to Black Clover. Like, I remember, oh, we were getting to 12 episodes. We're going to stop it. No. All right. We're going to get to 24 episodes. We're going to stop it. No. We're getting to 50 episodes. We're going to stop. No. We hit 100. And I kid you not, we were probably like 15 chapters behind the manga. And it's just like, where are they going to stop this? And they stop it right in the middle of an arc, which
Yeah.
killed all the momentum for Black Clover.
Yeah.
So when they are planning on bringing it back, everyone's just like, okay, like, so they did it just so bad.
Black Clover.
They tried using the God.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead. You said they did really bad.
No, I was gonna say they tried revamping the whole run it continuously, like they did with Naruto, like they did with Bleach, like they did with One Piece, and they forgot people were furious over that 2 year nothing but filler Naruto section that y'all had. We had at least 6 months of just filler. So it's one where it's like they just realized they can't do that in the 2020s. They can't,
Yeah.
because they're gonna lose everyone. It's such a boom 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 real quick. You have to
Instant
end the
gratification.
season with a hook, instant gratification. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so they found out the hard way. Black Clover was a perfect example of just put an episode out every week. Just doesn't do it.
You want to know? We're on the Black Clover rant right now. I actually, so the guy never sent the raws. There's this weird thing called Google. I just did it myself. So that's why I was pulling up. Make sure I don't download any viruses and shit. But the crazy thing about Black Clover is that for whatever reason, the anime and the manga just got hit with the worst bug. I mean, it feels cursed at this point because it feels like Yuki's just trying. The story's lost all life to me, and it had probably the best build up, and probably two of the best back to back arcs, or back to back like 3 arcs where it was the elf arc going into the Spade Kingdom arc, and then like the yeah, I think those were 2 arcs that were back to back. Or like something maybe in between that where we got introduced to devils. But I mean, that was peak writing, it's peak storytelling. I've never lost it over a side character, literally a side character, and the weakest of a team beating a big bad with just straight hands like I did for Magna fucking Swing. Sorry, Khaleesi. But Magna ran the hands with Dante and pieced him up so bad. I'm talking about he was rocking his face. I still have to
That was
screenshot.
wild too. That was a great fight.
I'm literally like, let's fucking go at the top of my lungs in my apartment. And I'm just like, I'm ready to throw my phone. I was so hyped for that. I've never
It was
gotten
so broken too.
that.
It was so broken.
Man, but literally, like,
Because you have this demon who's just like, no, guy with demon powers. Two different things. Two very different things. And it's just like, how can he beat him? And he's just like, I'm going to bring you down to me. And I'm like, what?
literally, like,
What?
Dante's face was one. Shout out to Yuki because it was his writing was so peak during this time. Instead of letting Asta run it back against Dante, nah, bring in Magna. Magna's like, yo, we're on the same playing field. Let's see who really got hands. Like, I'm about to walk you down. And Dante's face the whole time was like, oh crap, I don't know what to do now because I don't have my over. Here it goes again. Back to that point I just made. I don't have my overwhelming power anymore. I don't know what to do in this fight. I don't have the thing that I bullied other people with, which was just brute strength, gravity, all that stuff. I have to just straight throw hands, and this guy does that for a living. So again,
So, go ahead. Finish up.
it's just, to that point, if you can create your own win con, you can do it skillfully, your power means absolutely nothing.
That sequence, there is only one sequence that is more badass, in my opinion. Because for those who don't know, Magna, I don't know how he did it with firepower, but he threw it. You'd think he missed. It didn't really hurt him that much. Ha ha ha. And he creates this chain link. Um, what is the Pokemon move where you
Oh, here we go. He's bringing
Pokemon
Pokemon into it.
move where you take uh damage.
Is it the ghost type move,
Uh,
like that cursed move or
Primal.
something?
Oh yeah, it's one where it's like it's not skill shot. It's but it's one where we both pain split.
There
Pain
you go.
split. There's a move called pain split where if you're about to get knocked out and someone's at full health, you can take half of their health and you go to half. Like
Yeah.
that's a move. And it's literally that. Like there's literally a chain between him and he cannot get away. Another thing where it's just like bah, bah. Like it's the only thing that is as badass as this, and this is now I'm going to show my age. In the Yu Yu Hakusho tournament,
Oh, here we go.
there is
He's
this
taking it back
dude,
there.
and he sounds like an Australian. He sounds like an Australian. And
Oh
he
yeah.
looks at Yusuke, and he throws down these two knives on either side of the platform, and he's like, put your heel to him. Whoever backs up first loses. And he just puts his dukes up. And
I
I'm
remember that.
screaming.
I remember that.
Screaming at this
I
point.
remember that.
One of the more badass things you just ever see in just me. So that was up there, right there with that.
You took me
Because
back
that
with
was
that
one
one.
where
You took me
I
back.
can't remember his name,
Oh,
but
look at
yeah,
it.
he was his own monster. I'll look it up here in a second.
Yeah. Well, I say all that to say we live in a different age where information's out there. We just showed you how we use Google. He's using it right now. Instant gratification, Google, all the information is there. Black Clover had one of the best peaks to run into one of the worst finishes. I mean, this is probably going to actually finish worse than Attack on Titan. Just because the life is out of the work, it seems like he's just trying to rush through it to spend time with his family. Nothing wrong with that, but we just got 3 new chapters I think last week. Every chapter now is just glazing Asta. Like it's like we're being force fed to believe that he's so special that even one of Julius's own men is like, excuse me, not Julius, Lucius' own men, his last general, his last capo regime, literally has just said like, yeah, bro, your work gonna be boring. All right, you getting desperate. I'm gonna rock with them. I'm gonna help them finish you off. Like you too worried about Asta, but like Asta is just, I'm not buying him. Like he's always been the price of admission to enjoy Black Clover, and now I don't enjoy it
That's fair.
anymore. And the what we're getting with this final arc in the manga is just not even good writing like it was leading up to the Lucius reveal. And then him, the unholy matrimony with Asta and Sister Lily's, confession or whatever. And then he had all these hiatuses basically for whatever reason. And then the
Not
anime
whatever
is
reason he
going,
burned himself out.
well, yeah. If we're going to be blunt, yeah, he burned himself out. But the anime dealt with the same issues, So the anime just kept
Yeah.
getting. So Black Clover is going to always have a really, really sketchy legacy, because it didn't. If you enjoyed it, you knew why you enjoyed it, and then that was gone. That was, the burnout is real. Let's put it that way. So you mentioned seasonal. I'm hoping this works a lot better for the anime teams, to put something together. I think that's actually going to be the
And
for a lot of the,
I'm hoping it's also part of that shift too.
yeah. Because I will say, we mentioned filler. Boruto at one point was like 75% filler. if not more.
No.
Yeah,
No. I'm
literally,
sorry,
people.
no.
Yeah, people like that's just what happens when you try to just put something out because of a cash cow. Boruto was, yeah, it was all filler, like 75, 80% filler. And yes, it is now time for Taco's weekly fuck Boruto rant because the manga is released monthly and the art is still shit. It's not even just that. Now the story's
That's
wrong.
sad.
So when you asked about Konohamaru, yeah, I'm rocking my scarf because I still love my Konohamaru, but Ikimoto had Kawaki step on his face like Boruto did Code, and I knew his character was done. Like I'm like, oh, he's dying soon. You're killing man's off. He's not gonna be that eighth Hokage or the ninth Hokage. No, he's done. You got random insert corporate or bureaucratic character coming in and calling him an idiot. Like there's no coming back for this. So I think we're going into a new shift where a lot of studios are going to start switching to seasonal.
I hope that's the case. Well, one, the big shift is going to the movies, and I hope they don't do that,
Oh,
especially with like core pieces. But the arcs are so long, we can't really do that. But
yeah,
like Demon Slayer did it, Chainsaw Man's doing it right now. Turning arcs and compartmentalizing them into like big movie cinematical releases. But nothing
yeah.
wrong with that. Especially if I could still watch it on Crunchyroll.
Fact.
But I don't know if you noticed my face earlier, but I did look up. It's called Knife Edge Deathmatch. What I was talking about.
Yeah,
It is the it is Yu Yu Hakusho. It is the this is the original Dark Tournament. It wasn't even the last one. It was the first one. So
yeah.
that's
But
the one with Tagoro and all that craziness. And oh, these numbers hurt me. It first aired in Japan on May 29th of 1993.
Jesus Christ, I was 4.
Right? Right? So it's
Uh,
one where I'm looking at all the One Piece stuff and I'm just like, huh, glad I got on when I could. But yeah, it's I'm looking at Yusuke's face. You never see this character smile, and he literally has his heel to a blade and is getting pummeled, and he is just the biggest smile. It's about a 4 minute clip. I suggest anyone watch that fight. Super cool. And the person he's fighting, his name is Chu, and he was drunk, and then he
yeah,
sobered up because he's taking it seriously, and it's just like, oh,
I remember
craziness.
it. I didn't watch the original. I was 4. Yeah, I can math sometimes. 4, right? That's 4. Yeah. All right. So yeah, didn't watch the original. Um, but I did see it in like high school, I think, or late middle school, something like that. I loved it. Yu Yu Hakusho is still goaded to me, even though I'm not a huge Hunter x Hunter fan. I think Yu was, um, God, I can't think of his name. His better work. Um,
Oh
but
yeah, if you're talking about Gon, Yusuke is a much better character than Gon.
yeah, easily. What I wanted to say, because we didn't get to AB, forgot about that. I actually got a notification about recording. We didn't get to AB. I actually just read the Raws, and for whatever reason, I have to double check to make sure my phone didn't get infected. Uh, it didn't, but it didn't. But the Kagurabachi 100 chapter is just the two evil dudes meeting to fight over the sword, and it looks like one of them actually got the sword. So I'm wondering how this goes down because for whatever reason they blended Kagurabachi with JJK Modulo's um, spoilers. So I didn't actually finish the JJK Modulo's spoilers. That story's like a slow burn, so I'm not really I'm chomping at the bit to read those spoilers as much. But Kagurabachi is like it's setting up for two monsters to throw down, and I'm here for it. I just want to know what happened to my man Sasami because I mean, Mr.
Hmm.
Hands is down a hand apparently. I, actually, I think it's pretty clear right now in DB. Um, we're getting we're over time. I told you all this is going to be an episode, so thank you for rocking with
Oh
us.
yeah, we were just ranting for a lot of it.
I love it though. I'm with it. I'm realizing I like characters that just like to throw hands.
I mean, that's what shonen is. It's just like teenage boys that like watching fights. Now, granted, I like a little bit more story. That's why I gravitated into One Piece. I'll be the first one to tell you that, like, out of the big three, One Piece has the worst fights as far
Yeah,
as um, choreography and all that stuff goes, but has the better story. So that's why I'm like, haha. Bleach had better fights. Shit
yeah.
story.
Bleach had ass pulls. I no, what I mean is I like characters whose power, their primary, is just throwing hands. Like Magna, the Australian dude in Knife Edge Death Fight, Azumi and
Rock Lee.
Kagurabachi, uh, Broccoli. Well, not as much. Actually, I'm more of a Kakashi and Obito guy. Toji and JJK, the original, even though I like Megumi and Yuta and Gojo too, but Toji is one of my favorite. I just like characters that really just like to throw them things. Those are like my favorite characters. I'm realizing after talking about this today. So look at me having epiphanies that past my bedtime clock.
There you go.
Yeah. So DB,
Oh,
what you got for the fans as we close out this episode and they can hopefully jump into the comments. Don't be shy. We only really rant online, but I did have to cook somebody on his own post on Reddit again. So I've been doing that like the last couple weeks. Kitchen's always open.
I'm I'm just excited for the end of the year. I can finally start jumping into the anime that's happening this season, just because I'm wrapping up anime from the past season. Unfortunately, I am talking myself out of going to see Chainsaw Man the movie, so I will be staying home tonight and just chilling before I start my Friday. But it's exciting just being an anime fan, especially with One Piece, the core, with the story going more episodic. The animation is going to go off the chain, so I'm excited for that. Um, they just announced the casting for the One Piece live action Luffy's brother. I think that they nailed the casting. It's someone that doesn't have a lot of experience but looks like the character.
Yeah,
So as long as they kind of
this character playing Ace, right?
act like a 20-year-old dickhead, yeah, it is. Yeah, you called it.
Yeah,
So they announced Ace's actor, cool looking kid. He could definitely pull off being, I can't remember, Manaki, not Manaki. Luffy's older brother. The kid that plays Luffy is done it very well.
yeah.
Luffy actor. Inaki.
Okay.
He definitely looks like Inaki to some point. So he'll pull that off very well. So I'm just excited. Like it's a good time to be a One Piece fan. We probably got a few more chapters left of the year, so I'm just gonna enjoy that. 2025 has been crazy, but yeah, it's been a good one for me. So just looking forward to the next days.
Yeah, I mean, I got some brighter things on the horizon: new job, relocation, um, anime, gaming, grad school's going awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's always good to enjoy some nerding out. 7 o'clock on a Thursday night. DD staying in. I'm probably gonna let my neighbor know I'm staying in tonight too because I'm absolutely wiped after this week of just lifing and trying to navigate so many things at one time. She's probably gonna want to kill me because I think she's rescheduled once. This might be my second reschedule. We linked
Oof.
last week.
But
Yeah,
it's for you, so she can wait.
yeah. Well, she's going out of town next week, and then I'm relocating, so she's gonna have to catch me when I stop back by. I hate to say it that way, but I just think our schedule's not syncing, and for whatever reason, Thursday night just might not be our night. Um, but she also works on the other days that I'm available, so um, yeah, we'll see. I'm really dreading have to reschedule, but we're just gonna celebrate me when we get a chance. I don't want her to feel any pressure. I definitely don't need that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening
That's
to the
fair.
Anime Unks rant for an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, we still got
Oh
stamina.
wow, I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, we're on the clock today, man. We were doing the damn thing. Yeah,
We still got stamina. That's funny.
yeah, yeah. So I should have probably say sorry, Khaleesi, for that one. That's about getting crap past the radar, ladies and gentlemen. Um, so yeah, thanks for rocking out with us for an hour and 10 minutes. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Please drop a comment. You know, it can be, I don't know what you want to say. Just leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Share your thoughts. Get in the conversation. Don't be shy. The kitchen's always open, but we like to cook together. I love a good story, and it can be wholesome and healthy, engaging with the audience. So um, I'm gonna have to try to put these episodes on Spotify again because I can leave like a poll question
Okay.
that had a pretty good. They got a pretty good response back in the day when I used to post to Spotify. So YouTube community, please get in the comments. Let us know what you think. As always, kitchen's always open. Raider Space Cowboys.
Peace.
I had to wait for you to say peace too. I didn't want you to just like get
Gotcha.